Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 3 brawlers for every single class inside of Brawl Stars right now. So this can help you definitely in picking brawlers on which to upgrade, because I feel like you need at least a couple of brawlers from every single class to be good in ranked and just be good in the game in general. So let's just go through it straight away. Rapid fire. Let's start off with tanks then. So tanks, Ollie is at the forefront of the tank meta right now thanks to his broken hypercharge. He's just really good at creating space. His hypercharge takes a long time to get, but it's completely and utterly broken, and he's also pretty good into some other like assassins, etc., when you use the all lines on the gadget. Next up we have Draco. So Draco is an amazing tank, and especially when you want to create space and create pressure, Draco is one of the best brawlers at doing that, because thanks to his gadget that keeps him alive, he's got his healing star power as well, and the damage reduction you get with your super just allows you to take a lot more damage. And of course you can't forget his broken hypercharge, so he's going to be better in game modes like Brawl, Hot Zone to take up the amount of space. But yeah, Draco is fantastic at that. And then the last one is going to be Hank. So Hank did fall off a little bit, but I just don't think any other tanks are just better than him. Maybe Busty might argue for, and maybe even Trunk, but I think Hank is still up there, because on maps with a lot of walls where you're going to get a lot of value with a Hank, he's still really tanky thanks to his gadget, and his healing through his super can really help him sustain his life. He's just really annoying to kill. Let's move over to your assassins. So assassins, there's a lot of broken ones in the meta, and particular in the game mode gem grab, they're just so incredibly strong. You just can't stop them. The first one's going to be Lily. So Lily is absolutely insane right now. That's thanks to her broken vanish gadget, which just allows you to make so many plays. You can pop in and out of bushes, but the way that pros like to use it, and I like to use it, is by supering in onto people, and then when you're just about to die or low on health, or you want to waste the opponent's utility, then you pop the vanish gadget, because it's so good for wasting, I don't know, like Taurus supers, or if someone's popped a Draco hypercharge, or someone's popped a broken hypercharge, you just pop the vanish gadget, there you go, you're completely safe. And you can't forget the broken hypercharge on top of that, which just allows Lily to win pretty much every single 1v1 interaction, and it allows you to kill the gem carrier every single time, making Lily the best assassin. Then moving on to Cordelius. So Cordelius is a great assassin and a great damage dealer and a great tank counter, so it makes him the do-it-all assassin. You can be a really good assassin using a jump gadget and just ripping through literally everything. So a good Cordelius can pretty much do everything. He's one of the best brawlers in the game right now. You should know that already. He's fantastic. And lastly, we have Kaze. So Kaze's an incredible assassin. You could also argue that Kenji is up there as well. I don't think there's any other ones. Maybe Shade. That's kind of reaching though. But definitely Kaze is one of the best ones for sure. But that's thanks to her ninja form and thanks to her invisibility gadget. So the way that you want to be using Kaze is just abusing her ninja super and invisibility as much as possible. You know, making sure you're sneaking up to people, just super through them with the ninja super, and just burst them down quickly. It's all about building up that hypercharge. And again, another brawler's hypercharge is completely broken, and it just makes us such a threat in gem grab, because if you're constantly being invisible, you just never know where the Kaze is. Now let's move over to the support category, starting off with Byron. So Byron is one of the best brawlers in the game, easily thanks to his new hypercharge. This basically makes him like a mini assassin if you think about it. You can just throw his hypercharge super onto so many people and one-shot them, or just deal so much damage. It's super fast charging. That's the main reason why Byron is one of the best support brawlers, but he can defend himself pretty well thanks to his hypercharge, but also thanks to his booster shots, and just thanks to his overall super quick supercharge rate. So Byron is an easy brawler to play right now, and one of the best. Next we have Jae Young. So Jae Young, even without a hypercharge, is easily S tier in the meta. He's just the ultimate support brawler. Literally you get buffs with your main attack, which is absolutely insane when you think about constant speeds, constant healing, and then to top it off, another support brawler that is literally able to provide so much damage thanks to his damage gadget. So Jae Young can literally do it all as a support brawler. And then lastly, Kit. So yeah, Kit isn't really a support brawler right now, right? Like, I mean, you can support on like knockout bounty if you pair it with a tank, but Kit's all about being an assassin right now, which is hilarious. The hypercharges make Kit absolutely broken. So although Kit is support, and you do get a lot of value out of being a good support brawler with Kit, use Kit as more as an assassin, because he's absolutely broken. So now let's move over to our controller brawlers. So these controller brawlers, I don't actually think that a lot of them are that crazy in the meta. I mean, some of them are decent, but let's start off with Charlie. So Charlie is a consistent A tier, S tier brawler in the meta right now. She's so good against multiple things, whether that's countering snipers in the long range maps with her Spider's gadget, whether it's just being an annoying brawler, being able to take down assassins and tanks thanks to her fast charging, well, kind of fast charging super that can just shut them down so easily. Charlie's the kind of do do-it all brawler. She can always just play in it pretty much every single situation. I won't really say she like controls areas, just she kind of controls, kind of damage dealer, kind of bit of do it everything right now in the meta. Next up we got Finks. So Finks is the ultimate controller brawler. You think of his super, it literally gives you ultimate control. You throw it on the ground in a hot zone and the opponents will just have to run away because you'll just delete them instantly. And also, like, if you're shooting into Finks' super, you're never going to hit a shot. So it's just the ultimate hard counter to a lot of different brawlers. As I said, particularly in hot zone, he's just so good at controlling a particular area. Finks is so good in this meta and easily one of the best brawlers inside of a game. And then lastly, Otis. So Otis, although I won't really say he like controls too much, I would say he's more on the damage dealer side of things right now because of the damage buff that he recently got. But I guess he can kind of control with Otis because he actually has a much longer range than people give him credit for. And that makes him a really good asset on those bushier maps. Slap on the vision gear with him. He can hard counter a lot of the assassins like Kenji in the meta, Kaze, you know, those brawlers that want to get close. Otis can actually rip through pretty easily now. So now let's move on to your damage dealers. So a lot of these damage dealers have received big damage buffs in the last, I don't know, few updates or so. And yeah, the damage scaling has been like crazy. The inflation on it is absolutely mental right now. So starting off with Tara. Tara is, I would say, well, in Gem Grab, the best brawler in the game. And in a couple of other scenarios, Tara is a big threat. So making her like a high A tier brawler right now. That's thanks to her fast charge and hyper charge and just overall her ability to shut down so many different brawlers. Thanks to her gadget that can help tank shots. The support from beyond is really good for that. And just overall, again, fast charging super. She deals a lot of damage. So she's a good shutdown to a lot of the assassins and tanks in a Gem Grab meta. Next up, we've got Lumi. So Lumi, I would say she's actually more of a controller rather than damage. I mean, she's a bit of both. She can deal an insane amount of damage, and she's good at controlling with her gadget. So the way that you want to use her gadget is that you just want to spread out your two shots and cover as much area as possible, and then tap your gadget, 2 mini loose supers. That just controls so much of the area, but she's a great damage dealer thanks to her coolback. So normally, you want to make sure that you're overshooting your shot a little bit, so you make sure that you get your coolback damage in, because once you cool back those axes, whatever they're called, you're just able to just delete people. She can deal an insane amount of damage up close, so keep spamming. She's got a really fast recall time, so she's really good for that reason. And then lastly, Mina. So Mina is like a hybrid damage dealer assassin. She's a great damage dealer thanks to her third attack that can deal 4.4k damage with the damage gear on top of that. I believe that's like 5k damage, which is absolutely insane. So she's a bit of a both, but do I even need to explain about Mina? The main reason why she's so good is because she's so mobile. With every attack you dash, which is insane. She deals an insane amount of damage up close, but it's all about her super. Her super is just so toxic, being able to just rip through everything, and you can even use the gadget that gives you a free super back. So I just think she's just deals so much damage when you think about it. Whenever I'm playing Mina in ranks, I've always got the highest damage in the team. So yeah, she's completely broken, but one of the best damage dealers easily. So now let's move on to your best marksman brawlers. So with marksmans, I don't think it's really the best meta for them. I mean, some of them are still prevalent, but they're not really as meta as they used to be, right? So the first one is going to be Bonnie. So Bonnie, again, can you really consider Bonnie a marksman? Yes, she's got great range, but the way that you use Bonnie is more of an assassin, to be honest. So she's a great hybrid, but that's what you got to speak about with Bonnie. So her hypercharge is broken, and with a like, the thing is, Bonnie will struggle against other marksmans until you have your gadget or your super. So do bear that in mind. You are a big weakness to other marksmans, but we know Bonnie. Bonnie's super versatile. Hypercharge is just, it makes her viable in every single game mode. That's why she's one of the best marksmen. And next up we've got Angelo. So Angelo, I really like Angelo because he kind of counters the other marksman's right. Like, it's just always a really hard kill. You can switch gadgets depending on the game mode, whether you want to pierce through objects and deal 4k damage, whether you want to jump away from those assassins to get into you. Angelo's always such a hard kill, and being very fast as well always helps. So, and lastly we've got Brock. So I was kind of struggling for the last marksman. You know, Belle's pretty decent, you know, Janet can be good, you know, Piper can be okay. I think Brock is one of my favorites right now, mainly because of knockout and bounty. He's such a good asset because with Brock, it just allows you to have the kind of power mood inside a draft, because whether you want to break open the walls to counter throwers, whether you want to go jump gadget to be okay against those assassins, and just overall it's really hard to push into a Brock in this meta. And like I said, knockout and bounty just always seems pretty decent to go. So now moving into the final class, we have the artillery brawlers. So artillery are basically all of the throwers, and this isn't really a thrower heavy meta for the first time in a while, actually. Well, I would actually say the best thrower is Willow, but she's not even in artillery. She's in control, I believe. But I would say the next best thrower is Tick. He received a damage buff an update ago or two, but that's actually helped him out, and I think people are underrating Tick a little bit. He's still really good at knockout and bounty. I mean, good players can still counter a Tick with like Lilies and Karze's, but I still think he's a good asset to have in those particular game modes. It's Tick, right? He's just really annoying to deal with. It deals a lot of damage, and he can constantly heal up with his star power, which just makes him a big threat on the map. Next up, we've got Barley. So Barley, I really enjoy going Barley, whether it be Brawl or Hot Zone. I don't think you can really go him elsewhere, and he's starting to drop down further and further the meta as the game, like as the meta develops, because there's just too many broken hypercharges. But he's still a great pick, and you normally pick him towards the end of the draft. He can be really annoying to deal with, and especially once he gets hypercharge, he can get some nasty control and some nasty team wipes. And then finally, we have the Twins. So I think this is quite clear. The other throwers are just nowhere near the meta. The Twins, again, pretty underrated. Once they get the hypercharge, they'll be pretty good. But the Twins are just really good when you're thinking of like where Willow's good. So in like Hot Zone or Brawl map type Triple Dribble, Pinball Dreams, the Twins are gonna be equally as good because they're a thrower that can defend themselves at least against assassins. And we know throwers, right? If you don't have a particular counter like a wall break or an aggro brawler, they're just gonna be able to get ultimate control, and they're so good at countering like damage dealers and other controller brawlers. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know whether you disagreed or agree with any of these. I don't think any of them are really outlandish. I think a lot of these are pretty obvious as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. These are going to be the brawlers that you want to be upgrading, making sure, because I don't think there'll really be any balance changes now until the next update, which isn't for at least until towards the end of the month. So you're safe in upgrading these. Anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.